My job was to ask the smartest, most responsible, most heavily under pressure people in companies, in army think tanks, in mayors, landowners, people that I really trusted to tell me what their dreams were. And I put them at high speed on those platforms. This is about the Earth, because I want to speak to you as a global elder. Yes, I'm the commander of the First Earth Battalion, and I'm Bright Force King, and I'm Captain Planet, and I did all those things, and I still do them because I like to play in my own dreams, and I want to be in charge, you know. So the last time I checked, with all my websites and 100 YouTubes and all that, I only had a hit count of 45 million people listening to my stories. The first rule is the best story wins. And if it's colorful, you'll pay attention to it. And if it has music behind it, it'll be even better. So I've helped people make up stories about their organizations and tried to take them to another level. I never asked people in corporations what their higher purpose was if they didn't go, Jack, what is our higher purpose? John, we're going to be out here at 1600 tonight. We got 2 hours to figure this out. Get on it. No, they never says, you can't ask us that. That's a cultural question. No, they just don't know much about culture. Don't expect your government to announce that the planet is actually a unified global culture because they're not interested in that. Nobody thinks they have the authority to announce that the world has been a unified cultural family for 30 years, and with the internet, it is sharing every little piece of ethnic genius, recipes, sauces, sports, dance steps, fashions, heroes. We're there. I can say to you, aloha, global family. You could never say that before. That was like the guy in 1900 who got a ticket for going faster than a horse. And he said, well, this is crap. It's a good thing we can't fly. 100 years later, we were going Mach 14 up to Mars. The difference between 14 miles an hour and Mach 14 is a factor of 100. So we got 90 more years to get to a century from now. What do you think's going to happen? Well, one thing I can tell you, nothing's going to happen if you don't do something about it. The year 2000 was a big thud, and 2012 was about a half a thud, except for all the people who actually put something into it. Like Margaret Mead said, it's only 10% that need to start the game anyway. And who do we get to be during this process of, say, going to full life force for every living thing on planet Earth? For shifting our understanding that the planet is actually not ready to be paradise? Are you kidding me? It's not. The World Business Academy says it is. It's their superordinate goal. To say that we can't shift from national security to natural security and use all the military forces on the planet to fix the biosphere? Piece of cake. Ask them. So what about you? Are you going to be a one-trick pony like you were in the 20th century? When I grow up, I'm going to be a this. Then I get to go to school for this. And then I join one of thises in a workplace, and sometimes I get a watch. Maybe now I'll get a smartphone. No. Polymythic. In Greek, polymath means many-faceted. So our intelligence system that we really need to play is the one where you are more than one thing. Try 12 things. Hey, Christian accelerator and a Buddhist clutch. My spiritual vehicle has a Taoist steering wheel and Hindu headlights. Yeah, and I'm a 10-channel storyteller. Yeah, my voice is working right here, but then I can all of a sudden hook my head up to my voice, and then I can stop speaking in little bitty steps and then add my body with some damn attitude, you know, and then I can use the best audio-visual system I have and masks and other stuff. So be polymythic. Have your kids, don't say what you want to be when you grow up, but if you're going to be less than 12 things, somebody mad at you. When I was in the Army, I collected ideas about human performance, and they were very impressive, but that's not what sold it. What sold it is when I initiated a bunch of guys in a think tank into a mythical unit, and I added culture to the whole thing. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. I finally got to a place where I initiated them at the officers' club, and the next day they read me Army orders to say I'd go forward in time and space and dare to think the unthinkable. You are the commander of the First Earth Battalion. And they have never taken the orders away. And I'm still on it. Except I've graduated to a whole army, in this case. Here's the kind of visual language I use to position ideas from the different people I talk to. Here's some of the ideas for the 21st century. We are not a post-industrial age unless you want to wimp out to the last century. We're a global age. Been there. Floral age, Tom Robbins, sure. Integral age, the Aquarian age, the galactic age. These are myths we understand. The golden age and cultural creatives. This is our platform to work with. And below all that is the World Wide Web. 10 times more effective than any representational government can ever hope to be. And guess what? We don't have to invent one of those at the global level because the web is already global. If you think it's good now, you should see what they have in mind for the next 5 years. We are all going to be omni-centric in this game. Yes, it's my house. I have 17 people on my property from 11 countries, and we do botanical oasis, 100 fruiting trees and flowers, labyrinthian pathways, great view planes, and we're all single. It's funny, and we don't make contracts except about sharing things and not being a... But if you want to have some play in it, you have to add some sculpture. This is the God Lono. Peace, plenty, and play. Those are big enough for us, but the hard part is people don't understand much about beauty, which brings peace. This is the north and the south of America, the condor meeting the eagle, but look at it as a way of meeting each other. This is an intelligence model I sketched up. This is the stuff we teach now. It's all outgoing. We never talk about how powerful it is to listen. I have 68 skills for which I can receive a professional wage, and the only ones that are worth any good are listening and observing, and they're not on the list. Icons. I painted this of my favorite Hawaiian man who is kind, strong, visionary, capable, quiet, beautiful. This is where we're going. If you look at all the papers and everything you can be in touch with, you won't find an answer to the future because governments don't have any. Look at your leaders. And as a global leader, I'm finally able, because the last century was a workout, to say to the next generation some things. And that's one of the things I'd say. We organize our future using the omni-centric World Wide Web. Governments decentralize into bioregional support centers. We repair our biosphere using the military resources of the world. We create global villages that are multi-ethnic and grow half the food they need nearby. We integrate our industrial energy matrix with nature's. We accept the Aquarian mandate to make fresh water the new gold standard. We open our minds to invite galactic support for our ascension. We see ever more clearly the golden age that is in sight. We acknowledge that our life force living, knowing that levity works as well as gravity, and we can always ask for what we want. Well, what we want, my generation says, is we tied this planet together with communications, connections of all sorts, the web, and it is unified ethnically. Wow, salute to those guys. Next up, next generation, take us to paradise.